Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about football, basketball, the NFL playoffs are set. College football playoffs have advanced a couple rounds, and we'll start there. We had in the quarterfinals
A lot of
last week. We had to start it all off. New Year's Eve, Boise State, Penn State, and Boise State got manhandled.
yeah. Boise State. Ashant Genty had a fine game, but Boise State they looked hot. They looked like they were the team to beat, and then they looked like they could win it all. And then with that week off, I don't know, but they didn't play well that game. But I mean, Penn State is a very good football team, in my opinion.
Yeah, the stats say it all here for Boise State. Maddox Madsen, 25 for 30, 23 for 35, 340 yards, one touchdown. But the 3 INTs, that's how you kill yourself, is throwing 3 INTs in a game.
That's how you lose games. Even one INT can lose you a game, let alone 3.
Yeah, against Penn State, even one INT loses you a game. Throwing 3 and you're out of it. You have no shot.
Yeah, Penn State's gonna blow you out of the water.
Ashton Genty didn't do horrible. 30 carries, 140 yards, no touchdowns.
But
Nothing crazy from Boise State.
yeah,
And then Penn State on the stat line. Drew Aller had a phenomenal game. They did exactly what they needed him to do. 13 for 25, 171 yards and 3 touchdowns.
you know who I like? I like Penn State. I like all 4 of these teams. There's 4 teams that we will talk about winning. They all have a great chance of making it to the championship game and even winning it. All 4 of these teams are very good football teams.
I don't think we missed one prediction with our earlier predictions so far.
Well,
other than the we didn't have Penn State even playing Boise State. We had them losing to SMU, but that proved wrong.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we've been right on all of our predictions.
Yeah, because I think we do have. We can talk about Oregon-Ohio State game because I think we did have Ohio State winning. So with that Ohio State-Oregon game, wow, just unexpected, very unexpected. Oregon undefeated, and then Ohio State just looks insane against them.
It's tough to beat a team twice.
Very.
And Ohio State fixed everything they did wrong in the first game. That was why they lost. Will Howard, 17 for 26, 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 8 carries, 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quinshawn Judkins, 17 carries, 85 yards, no touchdowns. The team was they looked great. Jeremiah Smith, look at this. 7 receptions, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's what you need across the board to win games.
This guy is legit. I'm telling you, this freshman is legit. I don't know. He's going to go into the draft as a junior, and he'll get drafted second pick.
And then Ohio State's defense. 2 sacks for Cody Simon, a sack for Lanthan Ransom, 2 sacks for JT Tumarolo, 2 sacks for Jack Sawyer, 1 sack for Caden Curry. How many is that? 2, 3, 5, 7, 8 sacks by the Ohio State defense.
You can't. It's hard to win a football game when you get sacked 8 times.
Then on the Oregon side of the ball, Dylan Gabriel didn't have a horrible game.
He did not.
They
Not at all.
29 for 41, 299 yards and 2 touchdowns. You can't ask for much more from a quarterback. But the rushing game, I'm pretty sure they had, if you count the amount of sacks Dylan Gabriel took, they have negative yardage rushing.
And even if you don't count that, you are at, 20 yards rushing in total. That's all your rushing yards in total.
20 yards rushing. That's just,
Trayshawn Holden did not have a bad game, though. 7 receptions, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good game for him.
Yeah. And the Oregon defense, it was not a good outing. Not much you can say other than Ohio State played maybe the best first half we've seen out of a team. 34-8 going into the break.
Yeah, Ohio State looked like they were ready. They looked like they were ready to play this game, and Oregon was not ready for Ohio State's intensity, and they were not ready to win that football game.
Yeah, they were blown out of the water in the first half. Just watching it, they couldn't hit. Oregon couldn't get a throw off. It was a massacre in the first half, and then after that, once you've dug yourself a 34-8 hole, not much you can do to come back from that.
Yeah, and then
we'll move on to the Texas-Arizona State game, which went to overtime.
Wow. I mean, Arizona State stuck with, in my opinion, one of the favorites.
Yeah, that was who we had winning the national championship.
It's who we have. I mean, now I almost want to change it to Ohio State. I mean, looking now, I have Ohio State winning this now. Ohio State, if Ohio State can keep that intensity that they did with the Oregon game, they will win the college football championship.
Brady Ewers had a good day. 20 for 30, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, and an interception. Add on a touchdown on the ground.
Yeah.
And you got a good day. He spread the 3 receiving touchdowns to 3 people. Matthew Golden, 7 receptions, 149 yards, and a touchdown. Gunnar Helm, 3 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown. And then DeAndre Moore Jr., 2 receptions, 25 yards, and a touchdown.
And then what we've seen with these 3 games so far, the winning team has had a 100-yard receiver, I do believe.
Silas Bolden,
which is crazy.
On a punt return touchdown. He had 2 returns for 80 yards and a touchdown. Texas's kicker missed 2 field goals to win the game and made it overtime. Arizona State had a very well chance to win this game in overtime.
They did.
Had Texas on a 4th down and just was not able to put it together. But then Arizona State had a drive and they got called for. I think they missed a pretty easy, obvious targeting call. That should have been targeting on Texas, and Arizona State gets a first down, and they probably score and win the game.
And now, we'll quickly talk about the Notre Dame-Georgia game. Congrats to Notre Dame winning. It's hard to win when that tragedy happens where you're at. I mean, that can be scary. I mean, Notre Dame pulls out the win, though. I like Notre Dame, though. Notre Dame is pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, the stats don't look that good. Passing, Riley Leonard went 15 for 24, 90 yards and a touchdown. And then he was their leading rusher, 14 carries for 80 yards.
And
nothing impressive on the stat line, but they got the points.
And yeah, now we're out of time now.
And then Georgia lit up the stat sheets. Gunnar Stockton, 20 for 32, 234 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Etienne only had 38 yards on the ground, though. Not what you want, but you didn't get it done. You had the stat advantage, and that's all we have time for today. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and see you next time.
Thank you.
Adios.